Hi, and welcome to my additional videos to help you in your copperplate calligraphy journey. Today, I'm going to write a sentence for the very first time with you. This video belongs to a series called Writing Copperplate in Real Time, and it's the first time I'm going to write the sentence with you, and I'm going to share with you my thoughts and insights while creating the sentence, and then the thoughts afterwards and things that I could improve for the next time. My tools are very dark walnut ink, a hand 101, and an oblique pen holder. Whatever your tools are currently, if you're happy with your tools, use the tools you already have. If you need additional tips or resources on materials, on the description on this video, you can download a PDF file with a lot of info. Okay, let's go. So as you can see, I'm using an horizontal guideline with the classic ratio, and I am using the size of 6 millimeters for each unit. Whatever the size you would like to work, it's fine as well. So it doesn't matter, you don't need to use exactly the same guideline either. I'm gonna attach now paper on top, and we are gonna start writing. I would love if you want to follow these videos with me, so you can use your pen and ink, or you can use paper and pencil as well. So whatever is easier for you, it will work. Now, I'm going to write the sentence with pencil at the top of this paper so that I remember the sentence and I don't make spelling mistakes if possible. Okay, so the sentence or the quote for today is: the journey without a distance into the now. And this quote is by Eckhart Tolle. I won't add the name of the author. I will only write the quote, but I just have it in here in front of me for my reference. So if I forget the sentence, I can look it up, and I try not to make mistakes, spelling mistakes if possible. So the next thing I'm going to do now is marking the X height. So this is something I always do to give you a hint of where I'm sitting on the guideline, because the guideline is underneath and you can see the lines, but you will see it even clearer if I mark the X height now. So as I mentioned, the ratio is 2, 1, and 2. And if you need more info on ratios, you can check out other additional videos about this subject as well. I think it's going to take at least 2 lines, so I'm just marking the first and the second line. I always mention that this sentence, normally, if I were going to do a commission, I will start working with pencil, but on these videos, I'm starting to ink directly and talking through the thoughts that I'm having while I'm writing. There is a lot less talking and a lot more writing, by the way. These videos are also part of a series where I use calligraphy as a mindful practice. So it is a very relaxing exercise while I'm meditating on the page and being fully present. So let's start. The sentence starts with the article THE. So I'm going to start with a capital T. Let's go again. Okay. Capital T done, and now H. The journey move the paper. I'm looking at the first loop, which is this one, the H, and I'm trying to match the other loops as much as possible so that it's quite consistent across the whole alphabet. So I need the title O dot of the J, the journey without I've run out of ink. So I go back and fill the gap, just moving gently the ink down. That's it. Okay. I have very low ink this time. Okay, let's go. Without, so I need the second T. Without a distance, I'm gonna only write A now. And I'm going to the next line. Okay. Yeah. Distance. Into the noun. And the last. All right, so things I can look at and change for the second time. As I mentioned, this is the first time I'm writing this quote with the pen and ink. And so I have to see what things can I look for improvement and or what things I want to avoid. So the first thing is I broke the sentence after the A. which happens to be very similar in length, the first line to the second line. This might be a good idea or might not be, depending what you're designing. So if you want to add the author on the quote, okay, then we would think, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to add it here at the end? Are we going to add it in another sentence? Sorry, in another line? Or I'm gonna bring this up on the first line, and then I have these 3 words on the second line plus the author. Is the author gonna be the same hierarchy and size as the main quote? Or is going to be smaller? Is gonna be a different type of writing? All these decisions. If I add the author, I will also add the quotation marks at the beginning and at the end of the sentence. Okay, I have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ascenders and descenders. So that means that if I'm going to use the sentence exactly with this layout, I can bring the sentence much closer to each other because there is a lot of space and it's not going to intercept even here as well. So I can move it at least 2 units or more up where the sentence can be or the quote can be a lot closer to each other. At the moment, the lobes are quite consistent, so I'm happy with that. Things that I would change, I think this U is slightly wider compared to the other letters. So if I was going to do it again, this U will be just a little bit narrower, but it's not a big deal. Like if I compare this U with that one, this is a little bit wider. So yeah, I will try to make this U slightly narrower. I can create ligatures. So I can create a ligature between the bar of the T and the loop of the H, and I can do exactly the same at the beginning of the sentence. So something is very common in English because we have this article coming up again, again, and again. So I can go actually in here the same. So the TH pair happens 3 times, 2 times in the lowercase, once with a capital T. So I can definitely create a ligature here and another ligature here very easily. What else can I do in here? Of course, there are variations for W's that you can use. This is just the one I used now. And there is also many variations for capital T. It just depends if you want to go with a simpler shape or a much more ornate and complex shape. And when I say simpler, I always say that simpler does not equal easier, because sometimes when you don't have a lot of decoration, it is actually more difficult to create something that it works. So more things. I have 2. Actually, I only have 1 D, and I don't have a lot of repetition, only 2 W's as well. So I think in here, as it is, works. I will definitely bring the quote closer to each other. I will think about creating a ligature between the D and the H in both cases. Maybe if I go really wide with the loop of the H, then I take a decision and then I extrapolate the same idea in the other ascenders and descenders. So if the H is gonna go wide, I can do the same in here and I can do the same on the descenders. And that must be enough to get something that is really unique and a little bit far from the canon of the classic writing. Okay, so I hope this is enjoyable, helpful, relaxing, educational, and everything else in between. So you can read the description on this video, a few more resources and materials, and you can learn with me with my pre-recorded courses also added in the description of the video. Thank you very much.